Hi to all our grade 6 learners!
Hello there, Teacher Charis.
Nice to see you, Teacher Joyce.
Oh, thank you, Teacher Charis. We're already on our second quarter. Time flies fast indeed.
That's right. We bring you our first episode of the quarter. So let's welcome our viewers to HAPIsabela, TELEdukasyon for grade 6 English. What are you reading, Teacher Joyce?
Oh, hi, Teacher Charis. Have you read the news today? Israel donated learning equipment to the Filipino students.
I have read that. The Department of Education is thankful to Israel for their donation.
I am happy with this great news. It's good to share this time of pandemic, right? And this news article is so informational. There are many other stories here to read.
I agree to that. Speaking of information, did you know that there are 6 different types of informational text?
I'm guessing this is the part where the guest teacher explains the different types of informational text.
You guessed it right, Teacher Joyce.
It's English time! This TV lesson is anchored on the Self-Learning Module or SLM based on the most essential learning competencies or MELCs for grade 6 English. Quarter 2, Module 1.
This module will serve as your reference for this particular episode of the HAPIsabela TELEdukasyon English 6 lesson.
So are you ready for an informational English learning with us?
Well then, let's get to use your reading talent.
In this TV lesson, we will identify various informational or factual texts.
To help us understand this TV lesson better, we would like to introduce you to our guest teacher.
And she's no other than Teacher Jennifer Torres of Menzi Elementary School. Welcome to the show, Teacher Jennifer!
Hi everyone, and to our grade 6 learners who are excited to watch and learn on our show today. This is Teacher Jen, and I'm ready to teach you our lesson today. So, what are you waiting for? Let's get to the first activity. In our very first short activity, I want you to look at the images that will be flashed on the screen. If it provides you with factual information, say yes. If not, say no. Let's have our first picture. Does it give you factual information? Yes, it does. The newspaper has a lot of factual information because it contains news stories, current events, or informative articles. Next picture is a page from a recipe book. Does it have factual information or not? Yes, again, we can elicit factual information from a recipe book because it provides the list of ingredients and step-by-step procedures in preparing a particular dish. The next one is a history book. What do you think? Does it give a factual information or not? Of course it does. History books are all about facts, specifically on past events about people, things, places, or happenings. Would you say that newspapers, recipe books, and history books give us informational texts? Yes, they do. We can say that these are sources of factual or informational texts. Was the activity easy, children? Now, let's continue with the discussion of our lesson. Do you know what a factual or informational text is?
Factual or informational text is a non-fiction content that informs, instructs, or persuades the reader by giving facts and information.
There are 6 types of factual or informational text. The first one is the discussion text.
Discussion text is a text that presents to the readers both sides of an issue or argument. Discussion text is usually found in a debate on a certain issue that interests the public.
An example of discussion text is an article that talks about the advantages and disadvantages of school opening amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
Another type of informational text is explanatory text.
Explanatory text is a factual or informational text that explains to the reader a process of how something works or why something happens.
An example of explanatory text is the explanation on how water cycle works in the Earth atmosphere system.
Let's move on with the third type of informational text, instructional or procedural text.
It is a text that tells reader how to do or make something. These examples are recipes from a cookbook, instructions for playing games, or science experiments.
We also have the persuasion text.
It is a factual text used to convince the reader to agree about a certain issue. One potential topic for persuasion text is about convincing the people to get their COVID-19 vaccine.
Next up is a non-chronological report.
Non-chronological report is a factual text that informs the reader not ordered by time, instead by the subject or topic.
Examples are geography books, catalogs, informational leaflets, magazine articles, or topic-based school projects. And lastly, we have recount. A recount is a text which retells events or experiences in the past. Examples are diary, blog, experiment, biography, autobiography, newspaper article, journals, and historical texts. Let's see if you truly understood our lesson. Let's have another activity to find out. I hope you like crossword puzzle because that is our activity today. Let's identify the different type of factual text by answering the crossword puzzle. Here are the hints. Let's answer across first. It is a non-fiction text type that is not ordered by time. It is ordered by subject or topic. Non-chronological report. That's correct. Next one, it is a type of non-fiction text used to convince the reader to agree about a certain issue. Think, think. Persuasion. Correct again.
It is a text that presents both sides of an issue or argument.
What do you think it is? Discussion! That's right! Let's continue answering down.
It is a non-fiction text that explains how something works and why something happens.
It is explanatory. You're good. And last clue, it is a text that tells readers how to do or make something. And the answer is procedural. Hooray! Did you get all answers correct? I'm pretty sure you did. Well done! I believe that you understood informational or factual text. Am I correct? Let's try one more activity. Try to identify the type of informational text through the examples I will tell. Image number 1. What do you think is a type of informational text shown here? Exactly! A procedural text because
It provides the list of ingredients and step-by-step procedures in preparing a particular dish.
you're doing great. How about this one? I think that's an easy one. Yes, absolutely right. It's a recount.
Because it tells an account of a person's life, particularly the biography of Dr. Jose P. Rizal.
Last image. Now, what informational text is this? You're right. It's a non-chronological report.
Because it presents one topic about why should I get my COVID-19 vaccine?
I am happy that you managed to identify types of informational or factual text. For that, let's clap for ourselves. Again,
As a recap, let us identify the 6 types of factual or informational text in terms of its definition, purpose, and examples as shown in the table. Number 1. Discussion text is a type of text that presents to the reader both sides of an issue or argument, and a typical example of this text is the advantages and disadvantages of school opening amidst pandemic. Second type of factual or informational text is the explanation text, that its purpose is to explain to the reader on how something works or why something happens, just like the explanation on how water cycle works in the atmosphere. The third one is the instructional or procedural text. This is a type of factual or informational text that tells the reader on how to do or make something. An example of this is a recipe from a cookbook. Another type of factual or informational text is the persuasion text. This aims to convince the reader to agree about a certain issue. This can be in form of letters, debates, and speeches. Next is a non-chronological text that informs the reader, not ordered by time, instead by the subject or topic. And some of these examples are geography books and catalogs. The last one is the recount. It's a text that retells to the reader the events or experiences in the past. The examples are diary and blogs.
this is Teacher Jen, thanking you all for listening and watching this TV lesson with me. I hope You have learned a lot about the various informational factual texts. Study well and goodbye!
A learning field EV presentation from Teacher Jennifer.
I agree with you, Teacher Joyce. You have just learned about the various informational factual texts.
If you